Hello, students. Here is Digits Lesson 4-4, Part 3. This gets into something that you haven't seen yet. It's dealing with like a negative and a negative. So I'm going to show the video because it'll make a little more sense then, and then we'll go through some examples.
Subtracting is the process of taking away a quantity. How can you take away a negative quantity? You borrow $13 from your friend so you can buy a sweater. You have a debt of $13. Negative 13 represents your debt. You can take away your debt by paying back $13. Subtracting negative 13 is the same as adding the opposite of negative 13.
So I like to think of it this way. Think of when you have something like this, negative 13 minus a negative 13. Think of those two negatives getting together, and this one turns up and becomes a plus. So negative 13 plus 13 equals 0. So if you paid back your debt, hey, I owe somebody $13. So the opposite of that negative 13 would be when you pay them back the $13, you owe them $0. So just think of that negative and that negative becoming a positive and plus. And your answers aren't always going to end up as 0. Let's take a look. So on this screen, they have different answer choices, and they want you to work through these problems and decide where these tiles should go. So I'm going to work those out for you, and I'm going to ask you to go back today and work these out after you've seen me go through these examples. But I'm going to be going back and forth between this document that I can write on and this one where I can slide. So here we go. So just like I said before, think of that negative and that negative becoming a plus. So negative 4 minus a negative 3 would be just like negative 4 plus 3. So if I owed somebody $4 and I paid them back $3, how much would I still owe them? Oh, I would still owe them $1. So that's a negative 1 for me. So this answer would be negative 1. Okay, so I go down here, I'll change the color. 1 minus negative 6 is the same as 1. That negative comes together, becomes a plus. Plus 6. 1 plus 6. Well, you knew that in first grade. That's a 7. So 1 plus 6, that's a 7. All right, cool beans. All right, now we have negative 5 minus negative 2. I'll go back to a blue here. Negative 5 minus negative 2. Make those into a plus. Okay. Negative 5 plus 2. If I owed somebody $5 and then I paid them back $2, I would still owe them $3. So that would be negative 3. So I would still be in debt negative $3. So that answer, negative 3. Moving on, 6 minus negative 1. So again, we'll make that a plus. That would be like 6 plus 1. And we all know 6 plus 1. Well, that's a 7. All right. Cool beans. I keep moving on. All right. Negative 3 minus negative 4. Again, make those negatives into a positive. Negative 3 plus 4. So if I owed somebody $3 and I had $4, after I paid them back those $3, I would have $1 to myself. All right, so there I go. And last one, negative 2 minus 5. Negative 2 minus negative 5, sorry. Negative 2 minus a minus becomes a plus. Negative 2 plus 5. If I had negative 2, I owed somebody $2, and I paid him back 5, that would give me 3. And look what I can do here. Watch this. If I just change the order of this, negative 4 plus 3, what if I just called that 4 minus 3? Well, wouldn't that be 1? And negative 2 plus 5. What if I just change the order? What if I say 5 minus 2? Oh, yes, that does give me 3. Oh, cool beans. So let me put the 3 down for this answer. And let's see if I know what I'm talking about. All right, I was right. Woo! All right, and last example, which expressions are equivalent to 4 plus negative 9? It says which expressions here. It means it should be more than one. 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so here's my answer choices up here. So 4 plus negative 9. Well, this is kind of like what I did on the other screen. If I put the negative 9 here plus that 4, all right, it looks like 1 is good. How about this one? 4 plus negative 9. Remember I think it was in part 2 where they show you that number line. 4 plus negative 9 is the same as 4 minus 9. All right, how about here? Negative 9 minus negative 4. Well, wouldn't that make that a plus? Negative 9 plus 4, which is the same as here. So let's see. It looks like, yep, all 3 of those answers are correct. So hopefully that made sense for you. Go back through part 3 today and see what you think of those answers.